Hi, in this video we're going to talk about Utah background checks. To get started, visit utahpublicrecords.com. I will have a link in the description you can click on, or you can just type this into your browser. Now, on the front page you will find multiple resources. These are public databases available in the state of Utah. Depending on what type of a background check you're doing, you can utilize some of these databases. Now, I'm just talking about a general background check that any anybody in the public can do. Like all of these tools, anybody can utilize. So very basic stuff and resources available through the state. So something basic, like for example, if you wanted to look up let's say you have a contractor that's about to do a big job for you and you wanted to make sure he's legit, you have an opportunity, for instance, to check contractor licenses. So there's a database for that. So make sure everything is legit. There's no issues there. Another thing you might consider looking at is maybe the court records. Maybe you want to see if there's any civil lawsuits, like financial related lawsuits to his job, to his work. Make sure everything is clean there. Maybe even criminal history. So you have quite a few things you can use to look somebody up before maybe handing over a large sum of money, or maybe before dating somebody, whatever the case may be. So what we also have is we have a page that's specific to the most sought after records. So if you look on top here, you have a link for background check, criminal records, and then if you hover over other records, you'll notice anything. You have court records, warrant search, vital information, property records, and inmate search. So there's quite a few options, and I'll show you how these more detailed pages work. For example, the background check page here. What you have here is you have all the statewide resources available for background checking. Anything from court records to criminal record forms, land records, warrants, prison records, and then of course the sex offender registry. If you scroll down, you also have county resources, and we covered the most populous counties. And in some of these cases, it's things like property research and inmate or jail records. So jail information is slightly different than prison information. Somebody going to a jail could potentially get arrested, released, and that's the end of it. People that are in prison are going to be there typically for serving a sentence of over a year. So these are two different databases, and jail records are typically maintained by the local sheriff's department at the county level. So just a quick distinction there. Another thing you have available to you is a name search on top, and what this does is it doesn't just pull records at the county level, at the state level in Utah. It also goes outside the state, so it pulls records from multiple states, and these are multiple databases, both public and private. So let's say a person has a criminal history in Minnesota or in Washington or in Arizona, and then they end up moving to Utah. And if you're just doing research at the county level or at the state level in Utah, you're not necessarily going to see what happened potentially in those other states. And people do move around, so you never know. So if you really want to have your bases covered, it's a good idea to have that nationwide look into somebody's public record history. So you have that option, you have your county options, and you have your statewide options. This should be, you can use also, of course, the alphabetized public records check, depending on what type of a background check you're trying to do. So with that said, come on down to utahpublicrecords.com and get started on your Utah background check. Thank you.